And we're up. It tells me I'm live on the screen. Look. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
I got you and sound.
You have?
Yeah.
Mine ain't done sod all yet. There's going to be a...
lag.
Oh, there we go. It's up. Yeah, I've got audio. So far. We'll see what tech issues we have tonight. Although we've been pretty good the last few months. 4 people in there. Well, good evening to you guys. Marines, good evening.
You, me, Marines, and one other.
And one other. You got any snow yet, Marines? I mean, we seem to have it all round us here, but we haven't actually got any yet. And the trouble is, I can see out the window now, but it's dark, so...
Good evening, Moo.
Hello, Moo. Good evening, buddy.
What about you? You got snow? I'm going to talk about the weather for 5 minutes. Who's got snow and where are you?
Yeah, and if you have, keep it. It is cold here. I mean, a mate of ours has just left and there's frost forming on the cars already. So realistically, it's too cold to snow here. It has to be that little bit warmer for it to actually fall. Well, I wouldn't be at all surprised to wake up to with some in the morning, but
something silly like 2 or 3 degrees, isn't it? That if it gets...
Yeah, it doesn't have to drop much below, above it, just to...
If it drops to 0, then, yeah, you're going to get high.
That's when you get the snow settling on top of the ice on the roads, because it's frozen again, and then it's warmed up. So, you know, the snow's falling on the ice. But, well, how are we all? Good evening, Jen. How are we, all my right-wing racist friends out there, as we're now known, according to Starmer? No snow nowhere.
Evening, Jen. You got snow?
Yeah, apparently Wales did have a bit, according to some of the videos I've seen.
Which bit of Wales? North,
I don't know.
East?
I didn't take a lot of notice of it, to be honest.
Because they've got totally different.
No snow here, but up in the mountains, yeah, the high ground. You know, they're showing Scotland with snow all over the mountains. Well, this time of year they always get it up there. That's why they have ski resorts, isn't it?
We're quite low down, so we don't get too much. It's been deposited elsewhere before it gets to us.
Yeah, well, even the rainstorms and that have missed us. We had that bit of high wind with that last one, didn't we? And we had, what, an hour of rain, hard rain, and that was it. None on Anglesey, no. Well, you know, they blow it all up out of proportion. But apparently they had it in London. I saw a clip on Sky, funny enough, live. They filmed outside the studio. And it was coming down a bit. Oh, my voice is going. See the icing on the car dash. Yeah, we've had a couple of mornings where it's all been frozen up in the mornings, Moo. You know, full on frost, windscreen, roof, a lot. To the point where if it's going to continue, I'll get the car cover out because it does stand out there for 2 or 3 days at a time before it gets used. It's just had to have a new battery on it as well. But yeah, it is. The temperature's dropped here, Jen. That's hence the winter woolly. But we got to watch out. Does I mean, Moo might remember this. I don't know about Marine. Back in the day when the shouts used to go out, the Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. And Red's under the bed. I mean, that's the big story today, isn't it? You know, the Russians are spying around the coast with their ship. Well, this this has been going on since the end of the Cold War. You know, we've always had Russian jets flying up north, you know, to the point where they launch interceptors regular to go and escort them. The boat has been around for years, and they've had other boats. We know that. So this is nothing new. It's been played out regular. They say they're concerned that it's mapping cables and pipelines. Well, they've been doing that for years. They're probably just checking to see if there's any new ones. You know, yeah, you think about it. The main thing in a war is to cut your opponent's communications, but I don't think that's what they're doing. I really don't. It's our lot blowing it up. But, you know, as we say, we've no really longer got an army that's capable of defending this country. You know, there's more, shall we say, visiting aliens for now. We'll get on to that later, I expect. Than there is in the army. Russians and aliens alike. Yeah. Yeah, if it's a higher intelligence race move, they'd stay right away from this place. But yeah, the army's getting smaller all the time. The only numbers that are going up from the army are the ones that are leaving. And as I said the other day, morale in the army from the ones that I speak to is lowest ever. You know, along with the brass telling Starmer he's a wanker, basically. But, you know, why? It's worrying, especially when you put that alongside China Gate. Obviously, there's been a lot more exposed about that over the last few days. It's escalating. But with the clown Comrade Starmer alienating us from all our allies, well, except for the EU, but they're a waste of space. They got more troubles than we have, than our government have, by the sounds of it. And I certainly wouldn't call them an ally, what they're doing. But yeah, it looks like the lunatics are trying to rule the world. What about the Chinese? Yeah, I mean, I've said about that there, Jen. I mean, we know they're a threat. Espionage-wise, they're probably more of a threat than Russia is, to be fair. In my opinion, anyway. But why are they bowing down to the Chinese and letting them do what they want, but not with Russia? You know? I mean, you think about the tech side of things, because everything now is tech. We used to fight for a cleaner country. That old saying, we used to be an empire run by an empress. Then we're a kingdom run by a king. Now we're a country and we're run by a... yeah. But no, I think China is a bigger threat than Russia. From what I've been hearing, China isn't as pally with Russia as it used to be. But, you know, both communist, basically. And we've seen the mess China's in. And we've seen the cause of it. Digital ID and shit. Tree? What's that all about, mate? I've been misusing my words again. So I'm just having a look, see what else I've got written down here. I mean, Jen, you said they're using it all as a distraction. There's a lot of things they're using as a distraction at the moment, um, including Mahood's little yapping session yesterday. Can be ruled by a tree. Dear oh dear moo. Yeah, with the word on the street and with what's being said, I would agree with that, Jim. But like I say, the proof in the pudding is once they get in, isn't it? You could find out they could make things a lot worse. But you know, the smoke screens and the distraction. I mean, look at this thing about the turmoil I'll call it, for the leadership of the Labour Party. Now, to me, this is not any form of serious challenge to the leadership of the Labour Party. Because if they got as many against Starmer as they say they have, they could quite easily push a no confidence vote and get it through, I think. So all this yapping in the background is it's a distraction. Until somebody stands up and says there's a vote of no confidence going in, that is the only time there's going to be a threat to his leadership. You know, he's got them all on a very tight rein. But they do these things deliberately. We know that. No, they don't, Jen. They're absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. But as I say, you know, a lot of this could be distractions from other things. For one, it stopped people talking about the grooming gang inquiry and things like that. But yeah, it just doesn't kind of make sense to me. It really doesn't. But I mean, with, as I say, with Mahood's little speeches yesterday on reform on immigration, well, I said in today's video that there's nothing there that is going to do any good. There's only one thing they got to do, and that is stop the boats. Good evening, Stitch.
Hi, Stitch.
I mean, as I said before, and I always use the same analogy because it's perfect. If you've got a leak in your water pipe at home, the first thing you do is plug the leak before you clean up. And it's exactly the same within immigration. We've got to stop them coming over, and then we can deal with what's here. Otherwise, it's a never-ending circle. But yeah, the change in leadership, nah, waste of time. Again, with the new things she wants to do with immigration, listening to what she was saying, absolutely none of what she wants to do or said she wants to do can be activated until they clear Article 8 of the ECHR or come out of the ECHR, which will take years, as I've said in the video, because the EU won't let you take that back, that power back. They want that. Stitch. Yeah, good evening, Resist, and Little Stitch, and all the other lurkers, and Peter, and Big Brother. You know, hi, YouTube. Why don't you fuck off and catch some kiddie fiddlers or something? Because there's nobody does that in here. Yeah, maybe I should send them for Christmas a box of tissues so they can clean up after they jerk off each time they harass somebody. Because they must get some perverse sort of pleasure out of it. No, she didn't, Jen. She didn't say a word about stopping the boats. She did mention that they deported 50,000. Well, as we know, they were paid to go voluntarily. And they were the ones that had been here for a lot longer than these newcomers, working on overstaying on visas and coming over with family and shit. So, yes, technically they are illegal, but they get given a choice. Here's a couple of grand, just fuck yourself off, and we'll leave it there. That's what's making the big numbers of people leaving. Technically, they are a deportation, but they're voluntary. We've seen what happens when you send the real problem ones back. They're on the next fucking boat coming back over. There's 2 of them now. Yeah, they will, Jen. They'll probably go home, sort out their paperwork, apply through legal channels. Now, another one that she brought up, which I quite found amusing, about removing the children of immigrants, even if they were born here. Well, don't forget, Mahood's own parents came to this country specifically to have her as a child on the NHS. Yeah, I might do a panel in a bit, Stitch, because I haven't got a lot of notes written down today, so I've been taking a bit more time to myself, and there's a lot I want to try and get done here around the house, and because of my conditions, it takes me twice as long to do anything, which is a pain. Where was I? Yeah, her parents came here, had the baby on the NHS, fucked off home, and as soon as she's 16, because technically she was a British citizen, she was born here, they decided to send her back to be educated here. Yet she's telling them that they're going to try and remove families and kids, and deport them, even if they were born here. Stop them bringing over their families, which is exactly what she did. Jesus, born in a stable don't make him horse. Apparently there was only ever donkeys or asses, as they call them, in there then. It's no, I mean, the other big thing that a lot of these distractions are probably aimed at is the budget a week from today. So next live stream is going to be interesting because it will be after the budget, and it will all still be fresh in my mind, and I will have notes. But Mr. Speaker kept on about Labour breaking the rules by leaking things to the press before bringing it to the House. Now, if this is against parliamentary code, then they should get more than just a verbal bollocking for it, because they've done it time and time again. As mainstream media is saying at the moment, everybody knows what's going to happen in the budget, and she haven't even announced it yet. But how much of it do we really know? Now, what is to stop them leaking about probably the worst things they can do to us? And then when they actually give it, tone that down a bit so people think they're doing them a favour. Oh, you were going to charge this, but now you only want this. But one thing we do know for sure, that it's going to be a very dark Christmas for a lot of people. And I believe for many, it will be the last Christmas they have where they're employed. And again, there will be many that this will be the last Christmas in their own home if she taxes them out of it. If they're just on the limit of what they earn, banging a load of extra council tax and taxes for this and taxes for that on top, they won't be able to afford to keep their homes.
But the stupid part about that is if you're on a benefit, you'll get that extra given to you. It's only if you're working you'll have to find it.
Yeah. I mean, they lie constantly. We know that. So literally you can't believe anything they say, whether it's around a budget, around laws they want to do, put in place. Again, with the announcements on the ONS this morning, the Office of National Statistics, which is on the government website, which is government controlled, is playing down the economy and interest and shit like that. Is that another ploy? They've got control of that. We know they've fudged figures in there before. They did it right through COVID, and they're still doing it now on there over COVID. So I don't believe a word what this woman says. I really don't. She's caused the biggest exodus of wealth and businesses, as somebody else put it, in this country that we've seen, along with the investments that are gone. Good evening, Adrian. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. I mean, we ain't going to know until next Wednesday what further damage she's going to do. But we know she's invented a load of new taxes. But there you go. There's only going to be one loser out of it, and it's us. Oh, she announced the other day they'd miscalculated and half the black hole had miraculously disappeared. Without showing any proof, of course, as always. Yeah, well, this is the thing, Moo. With the internet, more and more people are asking questions. And more people have the ability to find the answers, even if they don't want you to have them. And this is what they don't like. This is why the censorship is being put in place and backed up and heavied up and what have you. Because they don't want people knowing the truth. Or more importantly, they don't want those people that know the truth and see the truth telling other people that haven't seen it or don't want to see it. You know? I mean, there's speculation on why the economic secretary, that Sadiq Tulip Flower, whatever her fucking name is, you know, over the economic situation. Well, no, it's not. It's because her auntie is the Bangladeshi woman who was the head honcho over there being sentenced to death. Apparently, that's her auntie, and they're a big money family, and a big money family in this country as well. But being as she's being executed for crimes against humanity, I mean, yeah, she had to go.
But does that mean Auntie will be moving here in a couple of weeks?
Only as a fucking corpse.
Claiming asylum because she doesn't want to live in India.
£51 million in gyros, not cash class. I haven't heard that one, Moo. I wouldn't be at all surprised. I mean, you know, people move around. They have them sent here, there and everywhere. people have been caught as using other people's IDs. Maybe they forgot to cancel them. Yeah, well, she should be, Jen, because you know what they're like over there. They won't just go after the individual; they'll go after the family, won't they? We've seen that so many times where these countries where they execute people like that and just lined up the whole fucking family and shot them. Oh, did anybody? Now, this was funny. I tried to find it again on Facebook and I can't fucking find it. Starmer doing his little I'm a family man bit, sat there casually with his shirt open, talking about him and his relationship with his son. I have never heard so much fucking drivel in my life about how hard it was. And honestly, the bloke's a fucking disgrace. Absolute disgrace. I mean, what was the other one he was going on about? Oh, ripping off of tickets for football and that. Says the man who gets given free ones. Check his hard drive. We wouldn't be allowed to get anywhere near that stitch. We wouldn't be allowed anywhere near it, darling. No, I like Clarkson's description of him. Custard. But yeah, it's just, extending the amount of time that these illegals can stay here. Apparently, they've got to prove they can work and what have you before they get given the right to stay indefinitely, as they call it, or citizenship. But bringing more in and giving them longer, are they going to start using this to press their point about digital ID? Don't forget, they use the bullshit of controlling immigration, illegal immigration with it. You call them vouchers, but you can cash them at a post office or pay point. I used to have mine many, many years ago sent to the post office move because the address I was living in was an unsafe address. But yeah, most of it goes into a bank account now.
Yeah, I thought they'd made that compulsory.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, there's going to be people out there, homeless people, that probably still have a gyro sent to a safe address or a post office. That, yeah, exactly, Moon. That's what I was going to say. A lot of those homeless people, they ain't going to have a bank account.
No.
For a start, you got to have a permanent address before you can have a bank account. And most of them won't have ID, so there's probably still occasions where it is paid out that way. I mean, back in the day, I can remember I always had to show a driving license or something, even though they knew me at the local post office, because I was there every fucking fortnight. Yeah, I had to show ID. Yeah, and they're playing down the number of stabbings and shit again, aren't they? I mean, Khan says, now, it's the way the little bastard worded it. My biggest bank account is under the mattress. Bank of bed. No, he said that deaths by murder have dropped in London. Well, one, I don't believe that, but it is entirely possible because we hear of hundreds of stabbings, but not all of them are fatal. So what he's actually doing there is using the number of fatal attacks, while the real number of knife crime and stabbings is soaring. He's using the words like Starmer does.
They all do.
It's the way they say things that count. You know, like, oh no, we don't have grooming gangs in London. So why are the Met Police opening 9,000 fucking cases then?
They call them something else, don't they?
Yeah. Child exploitation.
That's it.
They've changed it over. Before they used that word more than grooming gangs, that manslaughter. It's. I can't see a way out of this at the moment. I mean, we even if there was an election tomorrow and Reform got in, or any other party got in, you think how long it's taken to create the mess for him. I mean, just imagine how long it's going to take to try and fix it. There are easy ways if they do it, the financial ways. Yeah, them 7 more offences, Jen, they related to the attacks and that before he even got on the train, and the day before as well, where he tried to stab a 14-year-old lad. I mean, he's been done on attempted murder for that as well. But, you know, you look at it now, you get a lot of these people in jail, and we've seen a lot of reports of this lately. Of women and child abusers, paedophiles, that sort of thing, basically getting offed in prison. They're being slotted. And those that have got away with their lives are seriously injured in attacks. Now, I've always said a life lost is a very sad occasion. But on this occasion, for some reason, I don't feel sad about it at all. Not one little bit. But I suppose it stops them getting released early. Most of them certainly won't offend again. There'll be a civil war, new Brits versus old Brits. The new Brits move, I don't think they got to get up and go enough to do that. The young feral fuckers might, but the new breed of sheep and woke, they wouldn't stand a fucking chance, would they?
We rule out all the girls because they might break a nail.
Yeah.
Or lose an eyelash.
Or get their Louis Vuitton fucking bag dirty or something.
The boys will be out to sort it out when they've finished this lap on this hour on GTA.
But you know, you look at the problems with the justice system, the prisons, the police, and now they want to do away with jury trials. The last bastion of British justice is being tried and judged by your own countrymen, not a fucking judge that's paid by the government, run into the government narrative. You know, if they do that, justice in this country it's up the Swanee already, but it will be absolutely fucking non-existent. If they do away with your right for trial by jury, justice will be absolutely dead. No two ways about it.
Unless they start dismissing the cases that want to be heard in front of a jury because they know they'll win with a.
Well, the thing is, we have got, and we've seen them, a few good judges in this country that are fair and just, as they should be. But from what I see, they are very much outnumbered by the corrupt narrative following ones that will take orders from above. Although they are supposed to be the highest form of justice in the country. You know, that's justice straight out the fucking window if they do that. Doesn't matter how clever a lawyer you got, the decision always comes down to the judge. And that will cause problems. Yeah, we'll start a sweepstakes, Jen, just for fun. Now, obviously that twat on the train is guilty. Don't forget, Carrot got 2 more guilty verdicts today. Yeah. It's how long of a sentence will he get? Now, as far as I know, there's at least 10 attempted murder, wounding with intent and shit like that. Now, if a judge takes the sentencing on it case by case, he should be locked up for a very, very long time. But I think they will go in his defence down the psychological route. His defence will be mental illness. Well, anybody that does that has got a mental health problem.
He's mad, pal. Raving.
But no matter what the reason for him, same as that idiot running up the street that killed that dog walker a week or so ago. Many of the stabbings in Birmingham. You know, people are saying they shout Allah Akbar and shit like that as they're doing it all. But they're trying to shut down the terrorist aspect. What they're now calling them are solo incidents. Well, yeah, it should be moved. I mean, yeah, there has been calls. Was it Rupert Lowe, for one, to reinstate the death penalty?
Oh, yeah.
I believe in certain cases and for certain offences, as long as it is absolutely without a doubt, which many of these cases are now because there's plenty of videos of them, yeah, I believe the same. You know, but there again, a lot of these people look at their religion. They go out and kill somebody and they get executed for it. They're more than happy to stand up and be executed because it's martyrdom. They become martyrs. And this is the difference between them and us. Life to them is very, very cheap in all aspects of life, usually, in these third world countries. But we've got a higher level of self-survival, you know? And this is always the problem. And this is exactly what I said about soldiers being prosecuted for shooting an injured enemy. when they know if that enemy can stand and he can get hold of a weapon, doesn't matter whether he's injured or not, he's going to try and fucking kill you. And war is kill or be killed. Fortunately, there is collateral damage where people get stuck in the middle of it. But basically, war is kill or be killed. There are no rules. You know, you're not allowed to shoot a wounded enemy because he wants to still kill you and will try to kill you. They injure you, they'll have your fucking head and arms and fucking legs and everything else off your body just to make sure you don't get back up. Yeah. Oh, I've just noticed we've gained another 100. No. Yeah. No. Another 100 subscribers. No. Yeah. No. 30.
Oh, God.
No. 100 because we got 363 now. Huh. Don't know why I looked at that. Because it's nothing from the videos that I do. They're all coming from that Monty Python's one I posted.
Yeah. If it's gone from 6.0 to 6.3, that's 30.
Yeah.
No, 30. Got me doing it now. 3,630. Yes.
Yeah. There's been a mention of a coup. Yeah. That hasn't actually come from the army, Jen. If it had, I know enough servicemen that would have told me, to be honest. That is a bit of a conspiracy theory thing. Yeah, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. And things could get that bad that they might decide, fuck it, we're going to take over. But they ain't got enough. There's not enough personnel to push anything like that.
All we can do is see what happens.
Build for having jam on my bayonet could cause infection. Yeah, well, I still know people that are serving, and I know plenty of vets as well, Jen. And I mean, you know, sort of recent vets, not from the Second World War or anything, but certainly from Northern Ireland, Iraq, Iran, Falklands, Northern Ireland. You know, they've been around a bit. But I don't believe the top brass will even entertain them sending our boys abroad. Well, I should say boys and girls. You know, I keep forgetting that it is an equal opportunities, or supposed to be, force now. Although the demographics of the skin tone seems to be changing, especially in the RAF and the Navy. But there you go. But, you know, there was a period in recent history where literally a lot of people signed up for the army. Don't get me wrong, they became excellent soldiers. But a lot of them signed up to get away from poverty, especially up north. Because I always questioned when I used to visit the camp where a lot of my mates were in, that there was a lot of northerners there. Well, obviously that was the biggest areas of unemployment and poverty and what have you. And a lot of guys did sign up to get away from that. But as I say, you can't take anything away from them because they did turn out excellent servicemen. Not like some of the wimps they're getting in nowadays. You know, these boys were there for a reason. But, yeah, that's why I say the whole demographic of the army and the forces is changing. Yeah, I tried twice, Jen, to get in. I failed the medical on both occasions. But the MO that did the examinations and tests and shit said that, yeah, the Navy would probably accept me. Okay, yeah, no thanks.
All the nice
But and that's why so many of my friends are ex-service and what have you. It's because they all went in around me for various reasons. Most of the ones I know wasn't through poverty or unemployment. But yeah, the way the country moves has changed so much. And I'm old enough to see it. And I don't like it, to be honest. Yeah, you had the two sorts, basically, Jen. You had those that used to go to cadets when they were really young. Obviously, the progression on from the cadets for a lot of them was sign up when they were old enough. And then you had the ones that, were old enough, left school, found they couldn't get any work, couldn't afford to eat, a lot of them, and that was it. Right, sign up for the army. They feed and clothe you, house you, train you.
But it was sold, join the army, learn a trade.
Yes, and it was sold back then. Exactly. Join the army, learn a trade, see the world. For a lot of them, it was anything but that. The only time they saw a lot of the world was on tours or active duty. But yeah, it was a very proud thing at the time. And it still is. As I say, a lot of my family, there was only the two immediate in my family that served, but many sort of cousins, uncles, and stuff like that have served. As you know, I hold a total disdain for my sister, but she was a prime example. She went in as a postie. She got into the welfare side of it. Counselling. She did a few tours herself. I'll give her that. Then she was going to leave at one point, and they gave her a commission. So she stayed on. And when she did finally leave and retire, she was handed a very nice financial package. Her husband's ex-service as well, but he had to leave because with them both in the service, they couldn't get married, and she well outranked him. He was only a little sapper, a little grunt. And she came away, as I say, with a very nice financial package, which I think was way over the top. And the day after she left, they re-employed her as a civvy, doing her old job in welfare, and paying her a quite handsome salary on top of that. Obviously, she's got the pension as well, full pension, being a CO. Still can't stand the bitch. I mean, she went in straight from school, basically. And she never did say her reasons for doing so. Probably to get away from me. But I'll be honest, she was a little bitch before she even signed up anyway. So she's always hated me, and the feeling is mutual.
You can see why people don't want to join the army or any force for that matter.
Yeah.
With what's gone on recently with all the killings and everything in Iran and it's not see the world, it's go abroad and die.
Yeah.
Lose a
what was the old RAF slogan? Join the RAF, fly over exotic people and drop bombs on them. Fly over exotic lands and people and drop bombs on them. That was it. Same with the Navy, Yeah, you sail all over the world, call into these amazing ports, and next week sink their boats. Well, it seems most of our fucking boats are deployed all around other parts of the world, haven't they? I mean, they have got one shadow in that Russian vessel, apparently. Oh, pardon me. Right then. We're going nearly an hour. I don't know how long I'm going to keep going tonight, so I will.
Well, Stitch has said, if you're opening the panel,
Yeah.
that she's got some shit going on, so...
I nearly pressed fucking emoji then. That would have been a bit bummer. There's the link.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Jen. That's disgusting. Why would
What's
you
that?
want to join somewhere where, if you obey an order, you can be prosecuted for it years down the line?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like telling a copper, "Oh, you arrested somebody 30 years ago because you swore at him. We're going to nick you now." Mind you, most of the coppers swear at them anyway, don't they? But yeah, I mean that is one of the reasons that I've been given anyway by more than two people that they're leaving the service because they don't end up in court for doing their job. I think that's you, Stitch.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, I
There
thought it
she
was.
is.
I remember seeing you using that name somewhere else.
Yeah, it was on here last time I came on. Yeah, I've changed it.
Well, that's one thing we don't normally get on this channel is people swapping and changing names, and that used to get confusing. You know, you get on somebody else's live. I used to go on Dan's. It used to happen. It's, who the fuck are you? Oh, on so. Oh yeah. Well, why have you changed your name then?
But that was done and all it out.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't mean on the screen. I mean actual people in the stream.
No, I haven't changed that one. I've just changed my screen, the one on here, but I haven't changed my actual name.
Yeah, I see that by the in the comments.
Yeah. Oh,
and that used to be the
man.
other thing that confuses me. You get used to one name in the comments. As soon as they appear on the panel, it's like, who the fuck are you?
So come on, Stitch. What shit's been happening?
Well, they're doing like works at my house, and they told us that because of the works we can't stay at our house, and we're supposed to be there. They've put us up in a hotel, and we're not allowed in the house at all. And we were originally told it was going to be 2 weeks, and then it went to Tuesday, and now it's gone to the 2nd of December.
I mean, that is a common thing if it's major structural work.
Well, it's supposed to be in an emergency, because you know I told you about that I've been having trouble with furry creatures.
Yeah.
Well, one managed to get into my bedroom.
Well, what it is, then they're probably going to seal the property up. And the other thing is they might even fumigate, which he wouldn't be allowed to be in there then anyway.
Yeah, my neighbour said that he thinks that they've done that because he said that they came over, he could hear some banging and crashing around, and then a couple of days later, the smell came. So I think that's what they have done, but it's just like, yeah, it's a bit nuts. But
we got a canopy over the door, for the front door. It's just one of them, what they call a cantilevered one. The back of the canopy is under the wall and acts like a lintel for the wall above it. It's concrete, reinforced concrete. And the damp has got in, the wet's got in where they just patched it up over the years. The plaster has all fallen off the head of the door. You can see the rebar, the metal strengthening bars in it. They're all rusty and poking out. There's cracks both sides above the door. And I told them, I said, look, that is structurally dangerous. That is half a ton of concrete that is going to fall off of there before long, right above the front door. And they sent a guy out again with a bucket of cement. He was going to patch it up. And I told him, I said, no, you fuck off, mate. I said, because it's just going to make it worse. You're sealing in the damp. And he said, well, what do you want to do? I said, leave it where it is, sunshine, because I've informed you. It's not been repaired properly. And if it falls on somebody, then the council is going to have a big claim against them because they have been informed about it.
Yeah, I think that's why
it's devaluing their property. It's not ours. We just pay rent.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. So I think that's why we're in here, because when when I told them about it, they were faffing, and I said, if that thing goes anywhere near my son and bites him, or goes anywhere near my little dog and bites her, I said, I will sue the living shit out of you. And then within like 2 days, I got a phone call saying, oh, you need to leave immediately. We've booked you into here, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we've been here, almost 3 weeks now.
Probably cited health and safety under that, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this has been going on for a while.
Yeah. There are certain things they've got to do immediately. And if you press them, they will, especially with, rodent infestation. I mean, there's lots of claims going in and around Birmingham now, as you can imagine, with the rubbish on the streets.
Oh, yeah, shit, yeah, but that's well bad, isn't it?
I mean, we've been lucky here. Why, I don't know, but we've still had weekly collections. They haven't been taking recycling. They just said, oh, if you put your recycling in a bag and put it next to your normal weekly bin, they'll take that as well. Fuck it, no, I'm just throwing it all in the one bin. It all goes in the same bin bag.
Yeah.
But they're on about going on strike as well now. The relief workers, the agency workers, they're on about striking, which will affect us in the outlying areas, because I think all the ones we got on here for agency. Oh, don't get me wrong, they do a good job. And I chat to them every time they come, because I go straight out and bring the bin in. And, they're pleasant enough guys. They're not all immigrants or anything like that. There's all sorts in there.
I can't believe they let it go on for this long, innit?
Yep. Well, Jen just put there about the one in Oxford, Kidlington. Well, I know that stretch along there, Jen. The River Cherwell, I used to fish regular when I was younger. There's some very good barbel beats on that river as well, and it's expensive to fish it. But that where they're showing, people will see it through the winter, because the only thing that's hiding it from people are the 2 lines of trees either side of the trackway. But when in the video today, if you go back and look, I put some aerial shots up of the area where it is. And it was quite a big operation. There's a big cleared space where they used to vet lorries, and they're all lorries that went in there. It's not a one-day job, as I said. But like I said in today's video, it is disgusting. It is a health risk. It is a pollution risk to the river. But I've seen at least 8 videos today of members of the public, since it's blown up, going in there, filming it, walking on top of the pile even, showing what's there. But they're only surmising that it came from Birmingham. It's just one avenue. But as I said in the video, how long would it take to find a couple of bits of paper in amongst that pile with an address or a reference on it? It's all domestic waste by the looks of it. So it would probably take them 5 minutes or even less to find a bit of paper with an address on. At least they'd know which area it was coming from or did come from. You know, but it's a very nice rural area around there, except for the motorway that goes right through the fucking middle of it. But it's not just there. I mean, there's a video out there. It's not one of the auditors. It's not somebody I recognised. Of a car park in London, and these wagons are just pulling in and tipping in this car park. There was 3 of them in there during the video. A council car park, and they're not council wagons. You know,
Wow.
But you see it.
That is gross.
In any big town or city, you will find it somewhere. There will be an area, not as big as that one in Oxfordshire, in Kidlington, but you'll find things like that all over the cities. A street of derelict houses. That usually takes about a weekend to fill up with rubble and junk.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, and the other thing is, obviously, the third worlders are getting the blame for it. But is it just them? We know that's how most of them are used to living. You know, you've only got to look at the state of cities in fucking India and Pakistan, and the mountains are fucking rubbish. The rivers, you can't even see the water for the shit floating in them. And that's how they live over there. And I'm not saying it is, but I wouldn't be at all surprised when they do find the gang responsible for organising it all. I think that's where the blame will lie. You know, I'm not saying the English and the white people in this country aren't capable of doing that, because they are. But we weren't seeing this sort of problem, not on this scale anyway, in years ago, you know.
But since lockdown, as far as I know, you still have to book a slot to go to the tip.
And in some places, you've got to pay.
And as a business, you have to pay. I said ages ago, the quickest and easiest way to solve this issue is tell them they can come and dump it at the tip. Well, they don't have to pay.
If you look at a couple of the aerial photographs I posted today in the video, you can actually see individual piles that haven't been bulldozed, because they bulldozed all that in there that hasn't been bulldozed. Now, they look like large, very large piles. They're not from like transits and vans and stuff like that. These are from big lorries, and it is all household waste. Now, the only ones that are going to pick up household waste like that, one is the regular collection. 2, and this is more likely the suspect that I believe is responsible, is these independent firms that their council in Birmingham have been paying to clear up the piles on the streets. I believe that's where that big dump come from. It's those that have been contracted to clean up the streets of the piles of rubbish, if it came from Birmingham. There you go. But it was definitely a commercial operation. You can see by the pile of rubbish. You know, they had diggers and drops in their bulldozers pushing it all up. Yeah. Viola have been in enough trouble over the past couple of years anyway, haven't they, Moo? I used to use one regular in the part of my job where Heather used to work at the accountants. Everything had to be on paper, a record. And how long was it they used to have to keep them?
7 years.
7 years they had to keep all this information for. Eh?
Some things were even longer.
Some things were longer. But what he used to do is every now and again, as things come up to their date where they could be destroyed, I used to have to take it all round to Viola. It might be 30 big nylon sacks full. It could be 100 big sacks full. And it had to go through what they class as a secure. I can't remember what it was called now.
It was guaranteed that it confidential waste
would be destroyed. Now, literally, yes, they shut the door. You had to back into the warehouse. And literally, all I used to do was tip these sacks out on the floor into a pile of paper. Now, it's all confidential paperwork, obviously, being an accountant. And you could see pages blowing out under the door. Or they'd open the door to let you out and there'd be pages and pages blowing out from under the door. You know, there was no care over it. And that is, you know, stuff that, yeah, criminals would love to get hold of, you know, bank details, amounts, all sorts of things they used to keep on it. I believe, is it all gone digital now?
Majority of it, yes, but you've still got the fact that you print something off,
Yeah,
for one reason or another, and then that has to go down the same route. Once you've used it, you've got post coming in.
Yeah, it's confidential
that
waste.
has to be scanned and then disposed of.
But Viola, yeah, they were. I can't remember what it was they got hauled up for, but they did get 2 quite large fines, if I remember. That just triggered the memory of seeing that when they put Viola in there. Because I used to get confused going to the place because I don't know myself way around Warsaw. My fucking sat nav used to send me up the motorway or send me round the fucking ring road. Bloody thing was only 3 minutes up the road. Good evening, Baron.
But you had that one time that you went, the road you normally went down was closed.
Yeah, bloody
Closed for
roadworks on it.
repairs.
And you get to that big set of traffic lights up the top, and there's about 8 exits off of it. There's no markings to tell you which fucking way to go.
And I couldn't help
Oh,
it 'cause I
Pops.
didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to put myself on mute for a minute because I'm going to walk down the corridor to have a fag, and I don't want you lot to just hear my crutches clonking and whatever.
No
So
worries.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I still can't see if it's snowing. It was clouding up out there. But the morning here the other day, I was up before daylight. Certain things they already do move, even domestic. And I always get, because I like to see if there's any of the, shall we call them straight clouds. And just through the sort of haze, it was still that dark blue sky, but you could see a perfect grid of thin cloud that had obviously been done in the dark. And within an hour of daylight coming up, it was full cloud cover again. Not saying that they're messing around with anything up there.
Around for a minute, darling.
Yeah, no worries. But they have admitted in certain countries that they do it, and I wouldn't put it past them to do it here. So sorry about me keep having a cig. It actually stops me coughing. Although I've usually got my cough medicine here anyway, along with my steroids and my various inhalers. And they've given me 2 new drugs now as well. I've been having attacks of angina. And because of my blood issues and everything with my heart, they've given me another beta blocker. So my pill count is going up. And next week I've got a health review. Well, that's going to be interesting. Baron, whatever doing up there, it's going to come down to earth. Well, Musk has fired 2 things off to the moon, and he, on behalf of other people, he did a double launch of satellites in one day last week, I think it was. You got the Russians, the Chinese. You got everybody throwing stuff up there. Something's coming down.
Hello.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, it takes
That's
quite a
what
while to get from one end of the hotel to that outside bit.
I used to live in a non-smoking flat. Basically, I said, fuck it. Everybody else in the building smoked, so I got pissed off.
They've got a notice. They've got a notice on all the windows. Oh shit! Saying that their fire alarms they're sensitive, and if you get caught smoking or vaping in your room, you get charged £100.
Yeah, a lot of hotels do that. A lot of hotels, holiday ones do that. Which is, it's fair enough. They got guests in that don't like the smell, and if I ever go into anybody's house that's non-smoking, I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to go outside and have it,
What I do at home is just a few extra steps in it.
I did a video on it ages ago about driving people away from smoke, about how many £1 billion worth of tax they're missing out on that non-smokers will have to help fill the hole. And it's exactly the same with the cars. They're driving cars off the road. Now, you imagine how much tax comes in a year off of cars. If they're all disappearing off the roads, they're going to have to find that tax from somewhere else. But at the moment, all they're doing is persecuting those that are still using the roads and still smoking. I said last week, in the EU, 5 packets of tobacco, €72. Well, that wouldn't even buy you 2 packets in this country,
Oh, it's so expensive. It really is. I mean, I smoke fags, so oh my god, it's painful when I have to pay for them. When I get to check out and I ask for them, I have to give my car up. Like, oh my god.
I know. And the thing is, people that smoke, yeah, it's a Eskimo wear, that one. I could live in that. Just put a pole up into the hood. I could probably sleep in it as well. But if you look at the furry. But yeah, things they're putting in place, things they're trying to get rid of, is they're doing themselves out of tax with it. All right, Jen, you take care, darling. Don't get too cold.
Night, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
But this is another thing they keep saying. This cold snap's coming in Scotland. I think it is. They put a warning out that it could get that cold, that it's a risk to life. But at the same time, they're taking away money from people that pay for the heating. People can't afford to heat their homes and eat hot food. Yet they'll quite happily issue a warning of it's a threat to life.
Oh, it's freaking freezing here. Hold on, I'll just go outside just for a minute. I'm just shivering. Bloody hell.
How can they call it global warming if all it's doing is getting colder?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I have these months where I look at things from weird angles and I end up with weird answers to my questions. like probably many of you do, to be honest. But my one is everybody keeps saying about the rising levels of the seas around the globe. Well, they're putting this down to global warming. Now, I'm putting it down for a different reason. Now, they've complained at all the earthquakes that we seem to be getting, all the volcanoes erupting and stuff like that. Now, could it be that the globe, the earth itself, is letting off pressure, which is what those occurrences do? It's all down to pressure. And as we know, if something is, say, like a balloon or a football held in shape with pressure, if enough pressure releases, that ball, that balloon is going to shrink, which would make sea levels rise. It's not the sea levels rising, it's the earth shrinking. How about that? Work
That makes sense.
It makes total
Well, yeah,
sense.
it could be, because if you think about it, like our summers have been getting really, really, really hot, and they're blaming that on global warming. But that could, if what you're saying is right, it could be that it's shrinking, so we're getting more of the hot weather from the other countries that we weren't near when the world was bigger.
Yeah, I'm talking on a global scale. You think of how many volcanoes there are around the Pacific Rim, the Ring of Fire, as they call it. Now, if all that went off, all that pressure releasing, the lava, the fluid, everything coming out, it's got to be shrinking. Because the globe does breathe, as it were. It's just another way that I've looked at it, I've never looked in to see if it's a real possibility or anything like that. But I believe it's a reason, a question that should be asked amongst these so-called scientists.
It makes sense, doesn't it? I think about it like where you said it.
Yep. Why are there so many rich people buying beach houses if they know they're going to get washed out? Well, this is something that I've never understood, Moo. The same with these people in Kansas, Texas, tornado alleys, as they call them. They build their properties and their houses out of the worst material they could to stand up to that sort of weather. Timber. You look after a tornado or even a hurricane. The buildings that are left standing, or at least you've got a good portion of the building standing, are brick and concrete built. The wooden ones are gone. Good evening up yours. Welcome.
Hello up yours. How you doing, mate?
You know him, do you, Stitch?
Yeah, it comes on my channel.
Oh, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Welcome.
Yeah, we've plugged you. We plug you a lot, so I'm not surprised that people are coming over here.
Yeah, it's just what we're like. We're a little community. We don't normally get that many in, so a new name stands out.
Yeah, up yours is really cool.
Anybody's welcome as long as they stick to the rules that I set right at the beginning, which is the no arguing, zero tolerance. Yes, you can disagree with somebody. You can have a different opinion, but there's nothing wrong with putting it respectfully. And that's the way we work. And it has worked, You know yourself, Stitch. There's a lot of people that I would never ever let in here.
Yeah.
1 or 2 have tried. But, I don't go on there antagonising them. I don't go on any of their streams now. So that there's no reason for them to come over here.
No, this is one of the nicest communities I've ever been on, so.
Yeah, there's no arguing. A few of us have met each other in person. And...
Wish we hadn't.
Sorry, Your Grace.
He also now he knows what I'm like.
But, it's horses for courses, isn't it? If you want to go on and get into a ruck or an argument, there's plenty of places you can go for it. Most of them are usually only run because they get the views, because people want the hassle and they get the money for it. And that's where I'm different. I never monetize. Can you imagine how much I'd have made on that 7 million viewed video if I was monetized?
Oh, that would be really good, yeah.
And I'm still getting thousands and thousands of views on it a day.
Wow. That's mad, isn't it?
Especially when
It was a good video, though.
Yeah. But it was an old one. It was just one I come across, and I thought, yeah, that is one of the funniest fucking sketches I've ever seen. I love me Monty Pythons. And appropriate, as Heather says, for what's going on.
It's when people had a sense of humour and when things were actually funny, rather than the good old days.
Yeah. Well, it's the only video that I've ever posted where I broke one of my rules that I try to stick to, and that is that I answer or react to every single comment. But literally after the first week and answering well over 1,500, 2,000 comments, I can't keep up with this.
Bloody hell, yeah.
I just turned the comments off. But funny enough, there wasn't many comments that were derogatory. Yes, you had the ones that, it's against this religion, it's against that religion. I said, well, if you actually listen and watch the clip and have watched the rest of the film, I said they take the piss out of just about every fucking religion on the planet.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, it just, like I say, when people had a sense of humour back then, nobody said anything like that. Well, if they did, then they were just whatever. But most people took it for what it was meant for, which was a joke.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's still people that don't understand Python's humour. Most of the fans of Python's humour don't understand some of it. But but most of the comments were about when they first time they saw it, or watch it every time it comes up and shit like that. But it's a classic. It's poking
it definitely
the fun
is.
Religion as a whole. But I mean, I don't know what I'd have earned out of something like that.
Respond to up yours.
Eh?
Can I just respond to up yours quickly?
Yeah, carry on, sweetheart. Carry on.
Thank you. Thank you, up yours. I'll be back hopefully the beginning of December, and we'll have like I'm back stream. But it's hard to do it here because I'm actually amazed that the internet has held out, because it normally keeps, every time I go into a different room or move or something like that, it loses connection a lot. So that's why I haven't done one, because I was just worried I was just going to keep losing connection.
Well, the other thing is with infestations like that, you can't even sleep because you lay there listening for every little sound.
Oh yeah, when it happened, I heard it about 1 o'clock in the morning. I could hear this little noise, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then it got louder and louder, and then I moved so I've got bags next to the side of my bed, where the hole is, and I heard it scratching against it. So I moved it all, and there was a hole in one of the bags, and I was like, "Oh hell no!" So I spent the rest of the night emptying all my stuff out of my bedroom and that, and then I didn't sleep. And I didn't sleep very well until they put me in here.
Well, you usually only use your phone and a tablet anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm lucky like that because I'm hardwired into the net on my desktop. Heather, she can get on it all on her phone and that, but she usually uses the laptop. But none of my phones will connect to YouTube. They're too old. I've tried installing the app on the actual channel phone, the dedicated to the channel phone, and it won't accept the app even.
I want
And
it.
my own personal phone, I don't connect to Wi-Fi. Full stop. I don't connect it to the internet. I never have. But,
I'm gonna walk
I'm,
back
I'm
in now. If I'm making too making noise, just tell me I'm gonna mute myself. So I'm back
yeah.
inside now. 'Cause it's
I mean, once I leave the house, I'm offline basically. Phone calls and texts only on my personal phone. People will say they can still track you. Well, yeah, they can, but only if they ping your signal off the towers, and it isn't as accurate as a GPS. But I mean, really, I don't even need the channel phone on now because I don't use WhatsApp that much. The people I do talk on there too know other ways to get in touch with me. I don't get any alerts from YouTube or anything like that. I get the occasional alert for an email if I'm lucky. Oh, look, I got 3 alerts on YouTube. That's unusual. Fucking hell. Graham responding to today's video. No, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I mean, I'll get alerts for certain people when they posted a video now and again, and then months will go by where I won't get any alerts at all from them. I get sporadic alerts now to comments on my videos, whereas before I wasn't getting any. Emails work as normal because they're through Google, obviously. I just get an alert on the page. Facebook, yes, I do get regular alerts on them. But with YouTube, I'll get an alert for a video or a comment that was posted 3 weeks ago.
That's helpful, isn't it?
Oh, it's bloody ridiculous. I mean, they haven't given me any warnings on the videos, so obviously the route I've gone down with wording stuff, because I'm still putting out the same shit, the corruption with the police and that, but I try to word it a bit better. But looking at the time it takes to check the videos each time before I post them, it's obvious that a bot has gone through, maybe picked up a word or something, and they've got a human to come and look at it. But I haven't had any failed checks for a while now. The last one was the live stream that got took down. But that was basically for medical misinformation. I won't say it wasn't. It was misinformation, but what I said could be construed as that, and you know how they work. Slightest chance that it fuck off, so they deleted the whole stream.
That was nice of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, didn't even give me a chance to edit it or anything. It was only about 5 seconds of talk. There's no, your stream's gone. Fuck off. Again, they're like the government. They're an entity that you can't hold to account because they don't listen to anything. They don't look at context. They can't even understand humour and sarcasm. Mind you, I have trouble understanding sarcasm sometimes.
No.
But now that I know is sarcasm.
No.
But yeah, they don't understand humour. my biggest mistake on one when I got banned for a couple of months. If I'd have sat there and showed the document on the screen of the information I was showing, this was back during lockdown, so it was over COVID, I put up a link to some medical information. Now, I'd put a link to a link, which was the issue, apparently, because they said anything that has come from the authorities like the NHS or National Health Scotland is fine because it's verified by that organisation. Well, I put a link to a link that showed one of their documents. I was being lazy rather than clipping, pasting, editing, what have you.
Yeah.
So it was misinformation, but they didn't understand that fact. It was the fact that I put a link from somebody else to that link. And that was the reason they banned me for 2 months.
Wow.
And it was more or less the same thing with the second ban I got. They accused me of misinformation. Well, on that occasion, I'd actually shown the information on the fucking screen. I said, well, you can see where it's come from. You told us that we're allowed to post what the NHS has done and what they've said. No, they wouldn't have it. No, fuck off. That was a month ban on that one. But that stays on my thing. And literally, because I won't take the test to say that I'm a good little boy and all this bollocks. If I get banned again, it's a permanent one, you know. Not to say that I haven't had arguments with them. If you remember, on one live stream, I posted a conversation I had with them through messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad that it's because you're telling the truth. That's why they're so hard on you. Because if you weren't doing that, they probably wouldn't be as hard on you because you're telling the truth. They're like, oh no, any little thing, like, right, get him. It's ridiculous.
The last email I got from them was when I got in touch and queried why my sub count had gone so high. Well, I knew why because of that Monty Python's video. But my viewings had gone down on my videos. Well, obviously, people are subbing to see that sort of video, and that's not my regular content. But I would have thought that with the amount it's gone up, there's at least a few in there, a few hundred, that are watching the videos. You know, I've had people get in touch with me and say that, you know, I got one from Australia. I had another message or two messages from America. And I said, well, you've never appeared in the comments. Oh, well, we put comments. I said, well, they've never showed up. And this is what one of the ways they work. They shadow ban you. And the email I sent to them, basically, I got a reply back. Oh, you need to do more wholesome content to build up your viewers. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? Wholesome content. You know, I put up loads of videos of funny cats, you know, and although everybody likes a good funny cat video, I must admit, if I want cheering up, it's the sort of thing I would sit here and watch. But I've got to produce more wholesome content for my ratings to go up. I said, well, I've got 7 million views on that, and 3,000 subs out of it. Someone's watching, but you're just not showing me that they're watching, you know. But this is what we get with tech, and I've always said it's worse than.
It always amazes me, like when you say, like they say to you, put up wholesome content, but then, like people who like put their kids up in and put inappropriate things about their kids, they get all of the views and they get all the comments and they get all the whatever. But I don't consider that as being wholesome when you've got a kid sitting there eating a sausage or a lollipop in a that kind of a way. I don't find that very wholesome. Or putting up all of their medical information on the internet, I don't find that wholesome. But then they don't get any
Yeah,
flack for it.
you know, oh no, I won't say all of them. People are proud of their kids, obviously, or a majority of people are, and they do like to show them off. But as you say, you get these ones that are there day after day. Oh, the kid's got this, that, and the other. Oh, this is what he had for breakfast. Oh, look at this video of him or her. And they'd be the first ones to complain that someone is making lewd comments about the kids. Yes, I admit it shouldn't happen, and this is what the Online Safety Act was for. But yeah, I mean, it's like these foodies, the influencers. I mean, I can't be bothered with them. I mean, I've got friends on Facebook that post literally everything they do. And occasionally they'll put up funny or, a political post or something like that. And I react to them. Same as these ones that keep posting, oh, listen to this music by this band. I ignore that because that's not what I'm on the internet for. If I wanted to know what's going on in your life, I'll come and fucking ask you.
Yeah.
Like even
Yeah.
she will post stuff when she's out or she's been somewhere or when we're on holiday even. But it's not every day with the marker. Oh, we are here with so and so. It's. But yeah, I've always said tech is going to be its own downfall, and with what they're saying about AI now, it looks like I was right. I've always said
AI
it's dangerous.
is scary. Like
It's dangerous. It's dangerous, not just scary.
Like there's like practically every single, apart from obviously us guys, but I'd say about 70% of videos that I click on, their like their welcome theme is AI. Their picture is AI. You get videos where the whole video is AI. When they used to use like artists or musicians or whatever to write their stuff for them, now they're all using AI, and say like there's like videos of like people selling stuff, but the item that they're selling is AI generated. It doesn't look anything like what the original one. And there's ones of like it's just so much AI now that it's not even people anymore.
Yeah,
it's really weird, and it's it's
sorry,
completely taken over, mate.
I probably spelled that wrong. Sorry, you know what I'm like when I'm trying to concentrate typing. Any tech that is capable, and I think AI will be more than capable of being self-aware. It's already taught itself to learn. It's taught itself to lie. It's taught itself to confuse people. Now that from a machine, to me, isn't just worrying. That is fucking dangerous. And it will get to
people.
a stage.
Sorry.
No, I'd say it will get to a stage. I wouldn't say it will go the whole hog and become totally self-aware, but it's more or less capable of thinking for itself now because humans have taught it to think.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's a video that everybody thinks is really funny where a man, he obviously saw it happen before and did it again, and he videoed himself saying to Siri that he wanted to make his girlfriend's birthday memorable, and then Siri said dump her, that will make it memorable. And everyone's like, oh, ha, 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 ha. You know, Siri's getting savage, and it's like, don't you find that concerning that she'd say, yeah, dump her out? That would make it memorable. I was like, what the fuck? That was nuts. And there was a couple where series come out with like, or like, hey Google or whatever, I've come out with like really weird responses to people's questions that kind of make it sound a bit human.
Well, you think about YouTube is a prime example. When you complain or you get into the help or anything like that, you're talking to AI. And if you look at the way it types and the way it puts things, you can see that it's AI. But to a regular person, it looks like two people having a conversation. You know, think of Alexa and the other one, Siri, is it?
Yeah.
You think about how those two react with. Yeah, it's it's to me. I mean, the developers, the designers, even a lot of them are coming out and saying, "Be careful, this could be dangerous." Even Musk has said it himself. AI can be dangerous. Yeah. They tried by first, that didn't work, so now they throw. Yeah, followed by a load of letters, isn't it? You know, all these alphabet multicolored people. Yeah, it's, you know, they've all got titles after their names, like cars. You know, it's the LGBGT. Well, yeah, GT is a car, isn't it? It's Grand Tourer. You know, it's ridiculous. I mean, you know, the woke. They say the woke is dying. No, it's not. When Tesco's can call Christmas trees evergreen trees instead of proper Christmas trees. I mean, that is just wokeness. Absolutely. It says B surely A is before B. That's how dictionaries work. Well, you say that up yours. Listen to the government because they obviously don't understand how dictionaries work. They can't explain what Islamophobia is. They've changed that again. They've dropped all that because they can't define it. Half of them can't define what is the difference between a woman and a man. You know, I mean, that twat Lanny thinks that men grow a cervix, for fuck's sake. And now, because of what Mahood said yesterday, they're going to have a big debate on the definition of a family. What is wrong with these people? You know, for years and years, doctors, scientists tell them a woman is a woman, a man is a man. Oh, no, they can be both. Yes, admittedly, there are certain, or one that I know of a certain medical condition where you can technically be both. That is the only time I believe a man or a woman can have genitals and functions of the other. But that, no, and they can't understand that. And these are so-called educated people that run this fucking country. You know, they don't even know the meaning of the words in our language. Okay, there's a lot of words in our language that I don't understand, but if you don't understand it, you don't just automatically talk out about it and say, oh, no, that's impossible, when science and fact tells you it is. Let's use the black.
How much time have they got on their hands so that they can stand there and say they're going to have a discussion on the definition of a family? It's like that would take like 5 seconds, mate. What are you having a discussion about? Bloody idiots.
Yeah, but they'll probably go into extended families further down the line. Well, a family is well, you don't even have to be biological opposites to have a family because of adoption and that.
Yeah.
But to me, a family is a couple of whatever sex that have got children by whatever means.
Yeah.
That is what I would call a family.
Yeah.
What is there to discuss about it, for fuck's sake?
I know. And there you go. It's over. Meeting over. We've done it. We've done it for you.
I mean,
Don't worry.
Black's Law Dictionary, well, the 11th edition actually tells you what mandate is and what it means. And they don't seem to understand that either, what a mandate is and how you achieve a mandate. I think they just see them as words that they can use. It's like, look at everything they say they're doing now. A normal person with an education giving a statement that they're doing something, or we're doing that as fast as we can. Not like they do, or we're working at pace. Well, what pace? Pace can be slow, pace can be fast. You're not defining fuck all by using the word pace. If you're working hard and fast on the subject, you're working hard and fast. You're not actually working at pace. Well, you are, but you're not describing what pace you're working at. You in first gear, you in top gear. And this is how they use words. You know, it's quite often it's malinformation, not misinformation, malinformation. Snail's pace. Not, yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you, Moo? You know.
They're funny fuckers, isn't they? But not in a ha-ha sense. Well, kind of in a ha-ha sense, but yeah.
To be honest, people like that, to me anyway, basically is not lack of education. It's trying to sound educated. And I believe most of them aren't. I mean, Reeves certainly isn't. She certainly didn't learn to fucking count at school. No way.
I know if they think that a man can have a cervix.
Yeah. Unless it's a woman
baby.
Yeah, it's
good grief.
They've done it for years, but in the last 5 years, the way they twist words and use words differently have changed totally. You know. Well, the mandate up yours literally isn't a legal binding contract, and you don't have to abide by it unless both parties have agreed. I don't believe they can implement a mandate just because they won an election. Yes, there are certain things that they can do without your permission after election because you've given them permission to work on your behalf. But if they bring up an actual mandate, that can only be agreed between both parties, not on a mass vote like an election. Good evening, Loafer. Late on display again. 10 biscuits, stop front pay. Davy Lammy has grown a cervix. Freddie is hard.
Hello, Loafer.
Oh, fucking hell. We've only got about 10 minutes left, so and my voice is starting to go a little bit. But no, it's been a good evening again today. I mean, we've got through some of the news. As I say, next week's is going to be very interesting because obviously it's going to be post-budget. I did think about going live and streaming the budget, you know, giving my opinions as we go along. But obviously most guys are going to be working and what have you during the day. So I'll just run the normal stream in the evening, but I will cherry pick bits from it because I will be watching it live. I do watch it on the parliamentary channel. I don't watch it on mainstream media or online, simply because on that, unless they black it out, mute it, you do hear everything. You know, if they made a slip up, the BBC can't fucking edit it and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
PC, a person date. Yeah, that's for the woke, innit? Up yours. You know, I'm fed up of this. I mean, to me, if someone says, "Oh, what are your pronouns?" Well, sorry, I'm going to say, well, obviously, if you've got to ask, yours aren't the same as mine. Fuck off. Just by asking that question, I don't want to speak to you. You know, I mean, it's like the trans. Well, in my day, and I still call them the same now. I call them the he/she's. And they say, why? I said, well, they obviously can't make up their fucking mind what they want to be. So they're both.
I just call them confusions.
Schrodinger's human if you lock them in a room. You don't know what it is until they come out.
There's pure confusion in it. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's but you know, that's the way they are. It's unfortunately it's on the rise still. Although there's not as many protests and shit about it. A lot of states in America are shutting all the wokeness down and shit like that. But who never used to worry about these people until they started trying to ram it down your throat? I never bothered whether people were gay or trans. Yeah, I might have a snigger if it's an outrageous trans person walking past me. But I never felt a need to go up and insult them. You know, and back in the day, they wouldn't do the same to us 9 times out of 10 because they'd get beaten to fuck by certain people. But no, if you're gay, you're gay. I worked with gay and homosexual people in many jobs, and I've never had a problem with them. But these ones that stand on the streets and walk up to you just because you're there and ram it down your face, then I haven't got time for them. I haven't got time for them whatsoever. It's just people jumping on a trend.
Yeah.
It's not a box. That's it. Only if you're in America, Moo. Over here, I still call them fucking wardrobes. Well, I'll tell you what, Moo. I used to go down the pub at Friday dinner time from the factory. I knew it was a gay pub because a few of my mates used to go there. And we used to have a good old time. You know, they were great guys. They knew I was straight. They knew better than to try and fucking try it on with me. They were warned about that by my mates from work that were openly gay, and they would tell him, look, he's a straight guy. You know, it could only turn nasty if you keep on at him. And the same with gay women. I had quite a few gay women as friends. Again, they were great to party with, but everybody knew where you stood with each other. But today, no, the world isn't like that anymore.
No, certainly not. Which is shame because you always used to get on so much better before they started ramming all these things down for now everyone, well not everybody, but a lot of people are always getting at other people when before we weren't. So it's trying to annoy us, isn't it? Trying to separate people.
There was, back then, admittedly, there was a lot more of keeping it in the closet, shall I say. Because, yeah, there were people that would shun them, not talk to them, take the piss. I never did. But this lot today, nah. I'd actually stand in front of them and take the piss out of them as much as I could, to be honest.
Yeah.
But don't need to knock it till you never knock it. Don't deny a thing unless you've tried it round the ring. Yeah, we know, Moo. Yeah, I'm not gay, but my boyfriend will disagree with me up yours. But no, it's people have changed, and the way people look at things have changed an awful lot in the last few years. And I've seen it because I certainly wouldn't be sat here talking about things I do if it hadn't gone that way, put it that way. But anyway, guys, that's nearly 9 o'clock. I will leave it there for tonight. There may be another video this week, but at the speed things are coming out now, it's a job to keep up. By the time I've made some notes, put a video together, edit it, you're just about to post it, and up pops an alert that it's all changed again. So it is a bit of a job. And I won't do these ones like the old Silver Fox does. I can't be doing a dozen little videos all day. I just haven't got the energy to do that, if nothing else. So. But I will leave it there for today. Obviously, it's supposed to be getting colder as the week goes on. So keep yourselves warm.
Yeah.
If you can afford to have the eating on, have the eating on. You know, don't suffer. But at the end, as always, it is a good night from me, and a thank you for being who you lot are. And
good night from me.
And as always, no matter what you do, where you go, please stay safe, stay strong, and stay free. Look after yourself, people.
Stay wicked, everyone.
Thank you, Stitch, for jumping up, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome.